Good evening. I want to thank you all for joining us tonight at our Team All In business training. I was really kind of hemming and hawing on what we're going to do tonight, and I really was drawn to the leadership call, the Wisdom Builder actually call that they did 2 Fridays ago. And it had to do with follow-up, especially because I've been doing a lot of events, a lot of booths and tents and outdoor things, and I've been all over the place. And the importance of following up with your leads after you have these events. Because I think sometimes the biggest fear, the challenge is we don't have people. We can't find people, right? And now we're put in this position where people are coming to us, they're giving us information. And if we don't do a good job on connecting and following up, it's really a waste of time. Like, why did you go, and why did we set up a tent, and why did we go to a booth, and why do we spend a whole day or half a day or whatever, right? So you really have to find a system that works. And I love the way this is laid out, so you'll have a better understanding on the importance of follow-up. Also, this consistency challenge that Alan started with the Wisdom Builders, I have to say, I'm really enjoying it, and it's keeping me on track. I love it because it's simple. It's so simple, and it's literally a 1-a-day consistency challenge. So I'm just wondering if maybe this is something we can even do as a group, because when I look back at the actual report on what we should be doing every day, it's really simple. And after, listening to the consistency, what's his name? Quick, Joan. Consistency book. I read the book Consistency. Oh, he came on, Alan Blank.
Simon
Chang. Yes, Simon. Thank you. I read his or I did his Audible, and man, just being consistent on the littlest things, the simplest things, and so the layout that they have, and I'll email this to you guys if you're interested in keeping track. And it really is about tracking what you do every day and posting it. And it's really simple. 15 minutes of personal development, right? Are you doing that? One new connection, one new conversation, one invite, and one follow-up. One of those every day. That, I think, is completely doable. And then there's bonus points. You get 1 point for all of those. And then the other things that you get bonus points for: 20 minutes of exercise, okay? Posting a story, posting a reel, 1 point in each of those, a 3-way message, one-on-one meeting, and then you get 5 points if you host a Zoom or do a booth or operate a booth during the day. So it's kind of neat, because when you look at the activity, and I see that the only Canadians that decided to join in or post so far is Sean and myself. And when I see what's happening in both of our businesses, Sean is 1 promoter away from going to Jamaica. Like, she is so determined to do this. And she had to, I think she was short 5 a few days ago. So it's just pushing her to do more. And it's not a lot more, just a little bit more, and being consistent every single day. So this is the, just us letting them know that we're the 6 out of 6 is we've actually given our points. We've texted in the message or in the Telegram chat what our points were for the day. So far, we've been bang on. Every night I post, and it's really neat because my phone's not off yet around 11 o'clock, and I can hear ding, ding, ding. Everybody's posting just before 11 o'clock, ding, ding, ding. And that reminds me, oh shoot, I got to put in my numbers, right? So it really is keeping me on track and keeping me kind of motivated to go. And then the actual
to leaderboard.
So this
or
is
we'll
the actual,
get.
Oops, sorry. I just want to. And it's helping people be more consistent. Like when you see the step ups, I don't know if you've seen, but Jen and Matt Case are now Sapphire. And there was another Sapphire director. Hang on, let me just see where we are.
And higher
Hold on.
next
Give me one
so people
second.
get
Watching it.
There we
awesome
go. Jen and Matt. Yeah.
Jenny Reyes too, and Jerry
raffle. So we'll
So we're not doing a raffle.
all
The
of you,
raffle
which
is-
congratulations,
raffle is
Jen,
for,
Case, all the way.
their
Some of you are
team.
on this call.
Sorry, let me just come over here.
There was a challenge,
There we go.
and I hope
So when you look at this leaderboard, I'm just trying to see here. These are the people that actually he had got us in categories from 1, 2, and Sean was on that as well. So anyways, I just want to say I really feel that being accountable, keeping track of what you do every day and doing the simple things every single day, but keeping track. And even if you're not doing Alan's challenge and posting, I would highly recommend just using that tracker for your own personal self to make sure that you're doing the little things, the follow-up, the connecting, the inviting, even if it's one a day, right? They're not asking you to do 10 a day or 20 a day or 100 a day, like some of the challenges that are out there. Okay. Let me just see where we're at now. Hang on. I want to bring this over to the actual presentation. Where are we here? Here we go. Okay. So Erica does an amazing talk on follow-up. I learned from her and I was like, okay. And just the way she explains it, and she gives some really cool examples that I think are going to be really helpful. And then we'll have some conversation around that as well.
Mission is a strategy to maintain or improve relationships with people in your life or potential customers after that first initial interaction. So I want to challenge you guys to think about the last 3 to 5 club members that you have had that placed their first order. It doesn't have to be this month, just the last 3 to 5 people that placed an order. And how many of those orders that were placed were after you talking to them just one time. Basically, you shared the information and bam, they were ready to order. So this does happen sometimes, but it definitely is not the norm. You're going to have people that are ready after that first interaction, but that's not the norm, like I said. So we have to continue to follow up with the people that we're talking to about product. So that's where the relationship building really comes into play. So follow up is where we build trust with the people that we're connecting with. So we can help them change their lives, just like our lives have been changed through these products. I always say everybody has a trust bucket. And anytime we talk to people, we're either making deposits or withdrawals. We definitely want to be on the deposit side of things and filling those buckets. Because when the bucket gets full enough, those people are going to be ready to partner with us on their journey. And so a lot of people, when we hear follow-up, I know for me, when I first started in health and wellness, it was asking, are you ready to order? And it's not just about chasing those prospects. You have to really nurture the relationships and fill those trust buckets. It's an opportunity to really show people who you are, building trust with them and reinforcing the benefits of your business. So I gathered a little bit of data before I'll go into the meat of the training today. I was curious about averages and the numbers of follow-up. And so it takes an average of what I like to call 8 touches or 8 conversations to convert someone you're talking to about the product into a customer. That's just the average. For some people you're talking to, it may take more than 8. And for some, it may take less. But that's just that average. And it was so mind-blowing for me when I read that most people on average, when we're following up, stop at 2. Because we get stuck in that fear or we're worried about what other people think. And so stopping at 2 follow-ups, that means we've missed out on 6 more touches that we could have done to get a new club member or to help somebody to change their life, just like these products have changed ours. 48% of people will never follow up. So definitely don't be in that 48%. 25% of people are going to follow up 2 times and only 10% will follow up more than 3 times. And we definitely want to be in that 10% of those people that follow up more than 3 times so we can help more people to change their lives. So the question is, how do we follow up? Follow up looks different for different people. It's not a one size fits all. The first recommendation I have for you is to pick a day that you use for your follow-ups. So I always use follow-up Friday. So Fridays are the days where I really look at my list of people and look at who I've talked with, and I follow up on Fridays. And that can look many different ways. Not saying that I don't follow up other days, but I'm really intentional that one day of the week in my business building activities. So there's a traditional product and information follow-up. I once heard it called the ATM method. I'm a very visual person, so I have to have things to connect back to. So ATM stands for add, tag, and message. So after we have an initial conversation with someone about product, add them to the Neolife Healthy Living Facebook group. And then you want to tag them in a story or a testimony or a video or whatever you feel they can relate to in that group. And then the next day, follow up with them. What did you like best about what you saw? Did you get a chance to watch the videos that I sent over to you? What did you think about those? What would your goals be getting started? Or we want to awaken them to why they need Neolife. So that's one traditional way to follow up, and one way that I use in my business with people that I talk with. The 3-way messages are also super powerful and a great place to follow up, utilizing that third party and having another person to help you. So definitely utilize those 3-way messages. That's a whole other training for another day, but I wanted to kind of throw that in there because I do, in some ways that I follow up, I will go back to those three-way messages that I have. Follow up is not hounding people every day and asking them, are you ready? Are you ready? When do you want to place your order? Definitely, we don't want to be that person that when our name comes up on the text or the message, people are like, oh, I don't want to talk to them. So it's definitely not about asking people over and over if they're ready. Sometimes follow up is going over to your prospect's social media and liking or commenting on one of their posts. You'll be so surprised how many times you go and comment on someone's post. This has happened in just the last few months as me using that as a way to follow up. I see something someone posted and I comment on it, and then all of a sudden I get a message and they say to me, I forgot, I'm still looking at the products, or I haven't had time to watch the videos. It's almost like they see that we're loving on their posts and caring about what's happening in their life, and then it just kind of triggers something in their minds. And so definitely use that as a way to follow up. That's a very subtle way to follow up, but it's building trust with that prospect and showing them that we're not just there because we want them to place an order for a product, but we really truly care about what they're doing and who they are and their families and what's happening in their lives. Sometimes follow up is sending someone a message, nothing to do with Neolife or health, just to say hello. Ask them how they're doing. If you know something big is coming up or has happened in their life, asking them about that. They had a child that graduated, or they went on a summer vacation. How did they like it? Where did they go? What kind of things did they do? A lot of times I talk to people about books they're reading. I love to read, so I use that as a way to follow up. One of my club members that I have now, I sent her all the information. She's in the 3-way. We're talking to her, but she still hasn't ordered. But I'm continuing to engage in her posts and talk to her about the books that she's reading and what recommendations she has. And all of a sudden, in the middle of that conversation, she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to place my order tomorrow for my Neolife. I'm so excited to get started. So you never know when that's coming. And that was, 7, 8, 9, 10 conversations with this lady. And it wasn't anything to do with Neolife, but I just continued to love on her. Sometimes follow up, maybe sending someone a transformation story. You see something in Neo Life Healthy Living, or you have another club member that struggles with something similar, and you send that to them. I was thinking about you today, and one of my club members, this is their story. I just wanted to share this with you. Or sending them a Health Talk recording if they couldn't make it to the live Health Talk, and just letting them know, hey, here's the recording. Do you think you'll have a chance to watch it? I'd love for you to look at this information. If you're anything like me, you'd wish you'd learned about this years ago. And maybe they're already on a health journey and they're using other products. And sometimes it's sending a message asking them how they're doing on their health journey, or did they find something that's working for them? Encourage them in whatever they're having success with, to show them that you care about them and not about whether or not they order your product. Because if you're continuing to be consistent, just like this challenge is helping us to be this month, the consistency in posting, that's following up with people. Every time you post, especially about product and what it's doing for your life, that is a way that you are following up with people that you've already talked to about product, and also people that you haven't even talked to about the product yet. And sometimes it may look like picking up the phone. How's your day going? How's your week? The way you follow up with your best friend is going to be different than the way you follow up with someone that you don't know as well yet. And I was talking with one of my promoters about that just yesterday. She has a really good friend that she sees all the time that's just, she's not ready yet. And I was telling her, you don't have to keep asking her if she's ready, because she's watching you. And it's going to come up in conversation because you are talking to each other all the time. Just continue to do what you're doing and love on her where she's at, and she will get to where she's ready to take that step with you. The trust is already there. So you just have to continue to be an example in your own journey, and then she's going to be ready. Whereas someone else, we might have to continue to make deposits into those trust buckets by loving on them a little bit more and commenting on those posts and, checking in on them a little bit more often. A quick story for me for follow-up is a very non-traditional way of following up, but it's just continuing to show up. So I'm working out at the gym with a personal trainer a few times a week. And when I first started partnering with her, of course, I told her about Neo Life, and she was excited to hear about it. I sent her all the information, and she seemed really interested, but she had not ordered. So I gave her all the information. I tagged her in the videos, that ATM method ad tag message in the Neo Life Healthy Living community. And then I just I let it be. But I continued to just be who I was, and I continued to show up and do work on me. And she's just continued to watch. And that's a way to follow up. You just continue to do what you're doing, and people are watching. And I got done at the gym this week, and she happened not to be there that day. She was off, and I got a text, and she's like, I'm ready to order. Can you give me a call so we can go through it? And I was like, wow, what a surprise. That just goes to show that following the system and just continuing to love on people where they are, that helps them to trust you with their journey. I want to just encourage everybody to just kick fear in the face. Sometimes we can get fearful or scared about continuing to follow up with people. But if we're loving on them and doing it the right way, we're just building trust, and we're building that relationship until they're ready to journey with us. These people are worth it, just like you were worth it when that person loved on you and shared Neo Life with you. Continue to share it with other people. Unapologetically is what how I like to refer to that. Just continue to share it. You can never share enough. Don't worry about your posts on social media. I think the last time I looked up numbers, it took like an average of 26 times for somebody to see one of your posts with the Facebook algorithm. So you can never share too much. If you continue to be consistent, you're going to be dripping on different people in your posts, and getting that reach is going to be increasing daily. And just remember, follow-up is just building relationships. It's just developing those soft skills and having a healthy balance with the product follow-up and the relationship follow-up.
That was awesome. So many gold nuggets. Thank you, Erica. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, one thing, there were so many things I wrote down, but one thing I like is the transformational stories. That is so good. Just sending them what you can, just offering value, not what can I take from you, what I could give you. And sometimes I'll do that in a 3-way message, and it's so helpful. Like if I know someone's got diabetes, then I might share David Thompson's video. But anyways, yeah, so good. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, no, I loved it. And I loved all the different practical tips that you gave us all too of ways. Cause like you said, I wrote it down that follow-up is not hounding somebody over and over and over again. Boy, have we done that in years past. Like, you know, maybe not quite this bad, but maybe like, are you ready to order yet? You ready to order yet? You ready to order yet? You know, and it's just not effective. It's just not effective. And
It's hard to be patient sometimes, but you got it.
yeah, it is. It's patience for sure. But I love that you didn't stop there. You know, you gave practical tips and strategies on, well, how do you follow up without saying, you ready yet? And I just wrote down a couple, but I loved them. I mean, I just think they are worth repeating, liking and comment on their social media posts, you know, caring about them personally, just seeing how can you, outside of Neolife, how can we add value to their life? Group chats, again, 3-way chats, whatever you want to call them, 3-way messages, all the same thing. ATMing, I put in the comments, I know not everyone sees the chat, but we just signed up a promoter last month that we ATM'd into the healthy living group you're talking about. I had to go back through my messenger 7 years ago. 7 years ago. I followed up, like probably not 8 times, probably 4 or 5 times 7 years ago. And there was no reply. Like she wouldn't even reply to my messages. So I stopped. 7 years later, she contacts us. I'm ready to start a business, signs up as a promoter. Like, where did this come from? Well, I've been seeing all the posts and stuff in the healthy living community and the Ideal Business Neolife Facebook group. I'm like, glad I added her there 7 years ago. So, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, we still need to follow up. So that's kind of a good example and a bad example. But you talked about sharing someone else's transformation story. I know Nicole touched on that. Sharing health talk videos. I love the 8-minute audio on the protein clip Dr. Lawson did, which is in our boards app.
That one's my favorite.
Under product resources, there's just so many things we can bring of gift of value to people when following up. And I love that you shared all that. Thank you so much. It was awesome. Any quick question or comment for Erica before we shut it down? I know we're 4 minutes past, but did that spark any question that anybody's dying to ask before we end it? If not, we'll end it.
Well, I thought that was great. I so appreciate her. It reminded me of my last 2 members that I signed up this month. And they were people that I had commented on a Facebook post. Just about their kids. There was one lady that I know through church here in town and just commented on her posts. And then she said, oh, thanks, Nada. And it was kind of like a back and forth kind of thing. And I had introduced Neolife to her last year. And this other girl, Heidi, I introduced probably about 5 or 6 years ago. Anyways, it's kind of cool how when Erica was talking about the different things that was working for her, that's what's been working just recently for me as well. Anything stand out for any of you guys? Anything that kind of maybe that you're doing that's working, or maybe that you'd like to do better that Erica had talked about? Anything at all? Especially Heather, I know you're doing shows and events, and anything that stood out when she was talking about follow-up?
No, I think she did a really great job. And one of the things that that's new that I don't do very often is comment on somebody else's post that I may have added into. I mean, I've added a lot of people into the Healthy Living group, and I've tagged them. I have no idea if they ever watched it, saw it, and I didn't actually call them back to ask. So, you know, that's something. I often do look, if I have a new person that I've met, I will look to see if I can find them on Facebook, or I'll send them a message, an email, say, hey, are you on Facebook? I'd like to, you know, friend you, or something like that. So they have heads up. Or if I do just friend them, I'll send them a message to say, hey, we just met today. You know, I've asked you to, you know, to be my friend because I like to share information on Facebook, just to give, you know, a little more substance to that. So they're not kind of think I'm stalking them around the social media. But those are all like super, super good points.
Yeah. And Heather, what I do when I'm at a booth or at the show, I always ask people, are you on Facebook? And they go, yeah. Oh, great. You want to be friends? Yeah. And they're like, they want to be friends, right?
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you do it right then and there, and then you could say, you know what? There's this amazing group with over 11,000 people sharing their stories and testimonials. Would you like me to add you to that now that we're friends? And they go, sure. Right. And then it's almost like they just want to be a part of it. When you say there's over 11,000 people that are sharing stories and testimonials, they want to be a part of that excitement. Right. And then you can add and tag down the road if there's a story or something that reminds you that maybe they might be able to connect with that story. So don't be afraid to ask them right away. Do you want to be my friend on Facebook? Like, yeah. It's like, especially most.
And it's a great idea to tag them in something that might relate to what they've already told you. But I like to also just say, hey, it's one way you can learn a little bit more about me, because they see me at a show, I'm active, I'm doing this and that, but they don't know all the trials and tribulations. And I posted several, testimonials. So everybody should have testimonials in that Facebook group. And I just usually say to somebody, search by my name and you'll find out a little bit more about me. So they get to know me a little bit better,
That's great, Heather. No, that's one thing I don't do. I'll tell them, oh, I shared my story in there, but you're right. I don't tell them to search, and you can find me. Because I shared my allergy testimonial in there, my workout, my joint pain testimonial in there. But that's a good point. Thank you.
They don't know all the sore points,
Right. Absolutely. Anybody else?
Well, while we're on, I just want to introduce my friend here and new promoter. We've been friends forever, and you know her, Anne. And just
hi, Anne. Welcome,
yeah.
welcome, new promoter. Welcome.
So we've been friends.
Great
We
to
work
have
at
you.
Winners. We work at Winners too together.
Great to have you on board.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And you know her, and Nada, you've known her. For
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you. Great to see you. I'm glad you're spending some time with Leonie. That's wonderful. Welcome.
Thank you.
Any other tips or points or follow-up challenges, or this is a discussion to help you guys with your follow-up? Joan, you had a huge event on the weekend, and I know it could be overwhelming, but you know what I do? I do it if there's a lot of people. I think we got 30 leads that day. Even if you do like 3 or 4 a day, right? Like sometimes if you think you have to do it all at once, you feel overwhelmed, right? So just do it in sections and do the ones that you remember the conversations with, that, maybe are higher on the list of the possibility, right? And the ones that were so you can give them a few more days, and just so you don't feel like you're overwhelmed, right?
I think the reminder that it might take 8 times helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like, so it's good to remember that and just keep going. I like the fact of offering value. I think that's a big thing for me. I like to offer value to people, even if they're not signing up yet. That's one way to continue, right? Continue to follow up.
Yeah. So important. And Tracy, many of you know Tracy, she's not on tonight. I met her last November at a show, and we just really hit it off. We really clicked, we connected, and I would just call her maybe once a week just to see how she's doing, because I knew she was going through some challenges with not working and not knowing what she wanted to do. And, I knew she would be great at this business. I even told her that right away. But every time I called her, didn't talk about Neolife. Sometimes I'd be driving like an hour and we'd just be talking, just about stuff, about life, and she shared with me a lot of things that happened in her past and her journey and yeah. And then I text her once in a while and say, hey, just checking in. How you feeling? And literally with nothing about Neolife. And then every once in a while, I would just say, oh my gosh, I would love to have you on my team. You're so awesome. I said, we're so the same. We're so similar. I said, we just think alike. And she goes, I know. She goes, I know. She goes, I will not. I will. And it was kind of cool. And then one day, it took November, December, January, February, March, April, May. April, I think it was. Yeah, it took like 5 months. And then she became a promoter, and then she signed up a new promoter just the other day. So if I didn't continue that relationship and continue building trust, right? And she was ready. Not everybody's ready right away. But I just knew deep down that she'd be awesome, right? And as many of you have met her already, and she's awesome, right? So anybody else have that happen where they connected with somebody from like a long time ago and now they're kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm ready? Where you built relationships and built trust. And Heather?
Oh, a lady that I met curling probably 10 years ago, and we see each other at the Horticultural Society and various places, you know, and she just joined up today as a promoter. Yeah, I met with her like
Wow.
a week or so ago, and well, more than a week or so ago in the wintertime. And she just told me, she says, I take all kinds of supplements and I'm interested in what you have. So, you know, it's taken a
Wow.
while, and yeah, that she started today.
Congratulations, Heather. Wow. That's great. That's a
Yeah.
great story. Yeah.
But I also wanted to just mention about the challenge. I really like the challenge that you know, that Ellen and Nicole have put out, because like you say, it's simple. It's 1, 1, 1, and 1. But it reminds me also that we already have, if anybody doesn't have that form and they want to go back to something that we've used before, it's the DMO, Daily Method of Operations. And it's engage a prospect, follow up with the lead, engage someone in conversation, check in with the customer, and start a new customer. So, or a promoter. So those are like 5 things, you know, one hand, 5 things. It's a form from May last year, actually. So about a year. So that Ashley and Whit put that together, and we have it. So it's very similar, just different,
Yes.
different format.
Yeah. As long as you're tracking and doing something consistent, right? It's the consistency, right? When you're going to say something.
No, I'm just saying I'm learning a lot today. I have to say that I do follow people on Facebook, and I always comment or like it, or you know, like it and comment. But I forget to invite people to the healthy living community. I don't know why, because if they're on Facebook, I mean, you know, I know that already. So I'm just going to start doing things like that. There's so
Yeah,
much to learn.
That add
Great.
tag message. Yeah. If you start
Mhm.
using that group, it's such a great tool, because then people see so many stories and so many testimonials and
I know. Yeah.
right. So
Yep. Let's do it.
let's do it, Wen. Awesome. All right, Leonie.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, Anne and I have been friends for what, 5 years? And I talked to her about Neolife about over a year ago. And just recently she said yes. So
Yeah.
became good friends. We are good friends. She had just had dinner at my place. with her friends. And yeah, and of course it's because what your dad, right? Because of the dad's going through some health challenges and the mom too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so we become
And
good
you can
friends.
help her, and Leonie, you're going to help her, right? You're going to impact somebody's life, right? And
Yep.
that's
Yep.
when Erica was talking about was, you know, that's our mission and our goal is to impact somebody's life, right? Whether it be with their health or whether it be getting them on board as a business partner, right? So, and if we go into that, helping them and giving them what they want, right? That's so important, really important.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
That's one thing that I really appreciated Erica. She repeated it over and over and over about, you know, how are you going to change someone's life? This is why we want to engage in them. And when I think back, like how my life was utterly changed, like totally. If
Mhm.
Lynn had kept coming back, I turned her down 3 times. Like she was good on follow-up because I was just too tired. Oh, I can't do this anymore. You know, I can't do this. I can't do this, you know. So yeah, keep yourself in the picture, because all of us have had a big impact on our lives.
Absolutely. And I keep forgetting too how many times I said no to Gord, crazy wild Gord. You guys, you know, some of you have heard his testimony. We share that story, and how he got us was he took us out for dinner in a limo and spent like $800 on a dinner, wanted to match make with my sister, and he was crazy. And then after dinner, he literally passed around these vitamins, this big vitamin chest. And I just looked at my sister and she looked at me, she goes, I'm not taking these pills. And I'm like, and Gord he was like just obnoxious and crazy. I didn't trust him at all, but I trusted Flo, his best friend, right? She was my neighbor. But I trusted her and she goes, nah, just take them. I trust Gord. And literally we're taking these enzymes and I didn't know what they were. He said, oh, just take them. They're for your digestion. It's going to help you digest that meal. And the B vitamin, you had alcohol. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And anyways, and I look back and my sister just looked at me and said, okay, I don't want to date this guy. I said, don't worry, you don't have to date this. And I came home and I don't know, there was like that's what he did. Like it was crazy. So you just never know, right? I said no so many times and he decided. And then, you know what he said? This meal's a tax write-off. Tax write-off, the whole thing. And that's when the wheel started spinning. I thought, oh, cool. You can off, right? So anyways, that's how he did it, right? To introduce me and Flo and I said no several times. And look what's happened, right? So yeah, you just never know. Right? Everybody has a story.
That's great. That's a
Can
great
someone
story.
Can someone send me the daily method of operations template?
Sure.
Where can I get it?
I actually saved a copy. I'm pretty sure it's in the Neolife Business Builders, maybe in the file, or go into
Neolife
Neolife Business Builders and then search the search box. I'll just show you if I can here.
How about home base, you think?
This is what it looks like here. You see it?
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm just going to do a print screen of it.
Whoops, wrong
Okay.
thing. Back.
Oh, that's the wrong
No,
thing?
sorry. There it
Yeah, no,
is.
it's right.
That's
Engage
cool.
the process, follow up with the lead, engage someone, success system today, check with the customer promoter. Today started
That's the
customer.
DMO.
Yeah,
The
that's the
French
DMO.
method
The
of
one that
operation.
Alan has is a little different, but they're both, it's a both a way of tracking things that you're doing. So Francis, I'll send you both and you just
Okay.
do which one you feel resonates with you best. I decided to join in on with Alan only because I'm really wanting to be a part of that team and part of the training. And we get together every Monday night at 8:30. Oh, sorry, Leon, I'm gonna have to mute you. Sorry. So we get together every Monday at 8:30 and we're reading right now GoPro. So 3 chapters through the whole week. And then I trained on chapter 6 last week. And Monday, 3 people trained on the 3 chapters. So I'm just finding it's keeping me out of management mode. And that's something Alan and I talked about. When you get to a certain size of business, we get to what we call management mode, where I'm just managing my business. And that's where your business can just plateau. And I didn't want to plateau. So I've decided that I would do what you guys are doing. What you guys are doing, I'm doing. I'm talking to people, I'm sponsoring people, I'm getting club members, I'm getting promoters, I'm tracking, I'm talking to people. I'm not just helping my promoters. I'm doing that too, but I'm doing it too. And setting the example that even when you get to the size of business that I have, to maintain that and to continue growing, I still have to be talking to people and adding people, to my team, because you do lose people through attrition, right? It's very easy if I did nothing, for whatever. Actually, a perfect example is Charlotte Shelton. I mean, they've built a huge diamond business, and she still talks to people and signs people up because she goes, Nada, she goes, I've been in this business for over 50 years and people are dying. Right? She's got people in their 90s that, have been directors, and she goes, I got to keep adding people, to my business. And we joke about it all the time. We're like, oh yeah. And, and I'm not saying she's like aggressive, but she's still talking and still sharing and still signing club members and talking about the business. And it's just part of her nature. She wants to maintain the size of business rather than just manage what she has. Right. So anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you. It's kind of cute when I chatted with her. Anybody else?
So Nada, I'm taking a shot at doing a show myself.
Woohoo!
Well, it's a community yard sale, and
Yes.
I do pepper sauce, everybody. So
Yes.
this minute as we talk, but I'm listening and listening to all the strategies, and I'm learning a lot, of course. So I'm a bit nervous though, because I'm gonna I just want to just promote just the Elevate product.
Yes, that's perfect.
No, I shouldn't be nervous, right? I should be good.
Keep it simple. If you're doing this as are you doing it outside on your front, like
Yeah,
like in the
outside.
community, like a yard?
Yeah, a church sale, a community church sale. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah, so just gonna I borrowed Joan's the banner.
Right sign.
Yeah.
Can I give you one little
Yes,
tip? Did
I was
put
gonna say,
three elevates and 3 upbeat together, tied in a little thing, and put 3 for $12 and 6 for 20.
okay. But I
People
wasn't-
will buy them, but
Yeah.
but they have to give you their information to follow up.
Right.
They have to fill out a ballot to follow up. I found that I sold quite a few
Okay.
bundles on Saturday's event with Cindy.
Right.
It's because people were really interested in giving it a try for whatever 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
They loved the taste. They sampled like a little bit.
Right.
So that's a great way, but just make sure you get their cell phone and their email.
Okay. I'll do.
Okay. So you can follow up. Yeah. And then send them a video. I tell them, look, I'm going to send you a short video, but I'm going to send you a video with one of our doctors. Would that interest you? They're like, yeah, no, please. I say, they're over 20 minutes. Oh no, that's good. That's good. So I've already prepared them that I'm going to send them a short video and a video that was done by one of our doctors that launched this product that's safe. Right. And I always joke around and I say, hey, try this drink. It's not going to give you a heart attack like some of those drinks that are out there. And it just kind of breaks the ice for people. And they came around to the booth, and have fun. Just be yourself. You're a sweetheart. So people will just, don't worry. They'll fill the ballot and they'll try it.
Like people who I've told, like friends, and when I started off, telling friends and family, I was like, skeptical, like, oh my gosh. And I lost, like, I lost a bit of patience. I was frustrated when people said, and they were skeptical of things, and see this, it was the husband or the sister or the brother, whatever, right? Even my own family, right? But
yeah.
I have to say, definitely, if you don't persist in a way, you know what? You never know it's true, because every single one of them so far have been showing some form of interest to either look at the video, at least buy the product, or continue on with some of the products, because I'm following up. And following up is huge. You have to follow up to get our customers, right? Keep going, right? And it's not just about the Neon Life, it's just having chats. And then they tell you of a friend, oh, my friend has, she's suffering with inflammation on her knees. And then of course that one conversation leads to the next, and so I'm not giving up. I'm not
And
gonna
what else too, Gina or Allison, is that people are watching. Like people that say no in the beginning, they're still watching you, right? And when they see you're still doing that, because I get people sometimes that say to me, how long have you been doing this? Wow. And they're curious, like, you're still doing this, right? And that's the people that said no in the beginning, you'll see, right? You're still doing it, right? So so don't worry. Like I said, and remember, what did Erica say? Sometimes 8 times that you're dripping on people sometimes before they actually decide to give it a try, right? It could be even more, right? So so that's what we do. We have to be patient and love on them, right? And that's what Erica said. Just, it's not about asking them for the sale, right? It's just really about building that relationship, building that trust, and when they're ready.
And thank you for encouraging it all the time.
Yeah, no, I know what it's like, man. I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah, but have fun. I have fun. I tell people that, just have fun. Don't get stressed. If you start treating this like a stressful thing, then it's not fun. Just have fun, right? That's the way I look at this business. I'm having fun. Get out there, have fun, talk to people, build relationships, build friendships. And just have fun sharing and caring, and don't be afraid. Remember how Erica says that fear, right? Don't be afraid. Just go and talk and be yourself and talk from the heart. and things will happen. But the thing is, you got to talk to people. If you're not talking to people, it's not going to happen, right? You got to put yourself out there. That's number one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Anything else before we sign off? Because we're good 10 minutes. We're going to be doing our health talk. Francis, you're quiet tonight. Great to see you. It's been a while. And even Pauline. Great to see you. And Jennifer, great to see you. I know it's been a while.
I am talking to a lot more people now.
Yes.
And I'm talking to one lady who has a niece with juvenile arthritis.
Okay.
And yeah, I just wonder if we have a testimonial about that.
Actually, in the
Yeah.
healthy living community, there's quite a few. So yeah, definitely look at that, and you can add, tag, and message. Invite her to the group.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I'll see if I have any written testimonials, but we do have some. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you. I know we have an event coming up in June too, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us, and Anne, welcome to the team. I hope this was helpful for you. And I know you've got Leonie's like she's been doing this a long time, so she knows how to guide and support and teach you some of these tools that we talked about, especially with the Neil Life Healthy Living community, to show you how to add, tag, and message, and just get comfortable with that easy thing to do. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent.
Okay.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. Appreciate you all. And we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Some of you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.